Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we grow again. So appreciative to be here with you all, as always, and always to explore magic, mystery, the ultimate nature of reality. Today I'm going to read, again, I'm getting down to the final channelings from the book, The Psychic Explorer by V. Von Dam. And I've really enjoyed them. So each week I've been kind of picking one for the last several weeks. This is a pretty obscure book that I got really, really early on. It might be the first sort of metaphysical book I ever bought. And it talks all about astral projection and out-of-body experience. And in the back of it, it's a guy's techniques and experiences on the astral realm. And then in the back are channelings from different cosmic entities primarily. You have like the Earth, the Sun, the stars, Saturn. So I'm getting down to it. There's only a few left. Today I'm going to read from the Cosmic Goddess, God-DESS. So looking forward to that. Haven't read it in a long, long time. I have no recollection of what's in there from the years back when I originally read this, but I know it'll be good. And before we jump in and have a little reading excursion for today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to read a review on iTunes. You guys know I love, love, love my iTunes reviews. Not only do they help us to reach new people, but they definitely help to fuel my fire to continue this labor of love. So if you haven't reviewed on iTunes, please do so. And makes me think also, by the way, speaking of reaching new people, for a long time I've told you guys to have friends or family choose a number between 1 and whatever the current number of episodes is. I think this is episode 841 right now. And then take that as a message from their higher self, whatever number popped in their head, and listen to it, and there will be some nugget of wisdom in that episode for them. And I've actually now made that, thanks to the help of Dalian, we have put together a page just to do that. So it's a very cheeky, fun way to co-create synchronicity and magic with the universe. And with your friends and family. So check that out. You can go to positivehead.com/universe, YO universe. Play yourself, easily share with friends and family, or if you want to share on like Facebook, if you go to the public facing Positive Head Facebook page, there is a animated version that you can share, on Facebook to your friends or whatever, right pinned to the top of that page. Would love it if you guys would, if you've had any benefit from the show, take a few minutes to share this new page because, we're excited about it. We think it's a really fun, magical way to co-create, and hope you do too. Also, if you're not in the private Facebook group, that's Positive Heads with an S. Public is singular. The private group is plural with an S. And yeah, a great place to connect with other listeners, ask questions, that sort of thing. So we'd love to see you there if you're not there. All right, this particular review came in by Third Eye Wink on iTunes. Life-changing. Brandon, your podcast has helped me focus on the vibration and frequency I am emitting on a daily basis. Some days are still harder than others to live from the highest place possible, but your knowledge combined with the clips you play remind me that I create my own, get this, youniverse. Love that. Synchronicity right there. I have been listening for over a year now. And I could literally write a book about how grateful I am for you and the P-Head community, but I will keep it short and sweet. Thank you for everything. Much love, my friend. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Third Eye Wink. Definitely a wink from the universe there, as we've just launched our youniverse page. And I was just talking about it, and I just read these reviews as they come in order. So I had no idea what I was about to read. So pretty cool, pretty magical. Magic is real. That's the thing about it. It's like when you step out and meet the universe halfway to co-create magic, it's real, you know? And like this person said here, you're not always going to be in your, not every day is going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm floating on clouds, right? You're going to have days that are harder than others. But by understanding who and what you are, you really create a space where you can be at peace with what is. You can embrace the process of your life. You don't need it to always be perfect or, ideal. And actually, it is, well, let me rephrase that. It is always ideal. It's always happening for you and not to you. And when you get that, that's the biggest game changer of all, because you're like, okay, this is challenging. I'm having a more difficult day, but I'm no longer judging it as wrong or bad. I'm allowing everything to just go by. Pima Chodon, hopefully I'm getting that right, said, "You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather." Wow, how powerful is that? You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. Just take that in for a minute. Like, you're so vast. Everything just happens. These clouds passing by in your life. Some days it's sun, a lot of sunshine. Other days there is lots of clouds and rain and wind. And you're the untouched, untouchable sky. And when you start really knowing that and living from that perspective, it's just like rapid level up. And we are doing it. And I'm so proud to have the experience with each and every one of you. All right. So let's jump into The Cosmic Goddess by V. Van Dam. The book is called The Psychic Explorer. Very obscure book. I've never known anyone else who's even owned it. I probably picked it up 20 years ago so that I could have these readings now, right? So let's see what The Cosmic Goddess has to say for us all today, shall we? Poise. Within the very foundations of your being, there is that which I am. Within the smallest particle of energy or atomic matter, there I can be found also. Yet though I am everywhere, I'm equally nowhere. Nevertheless, it should be said that the word God is itself meaningless. It's just a word, really. It is maybe as a useful way of drawing your attention to the reality of being, to life, to the oneness, and to the transcendent states, as well as the immanent ones. Yet it should be obvious to you by now, having read all this, that I am not describable. These messages in their entirety represent views or angles of perception and experience, potential states to be explored, actual states which certain beings have already entered or accessed and know more or less well. Their descriptions may be helpful to you. However, no one perception can describe the all. Therefore, different messages heralding from different points can cast a light on what it is that I am, but they can never fully encompass what I am. You may have noted how some messages are serious, while others are joyful, even playful, or symbolic or poetic, or whatever. Each message has its truth as well as its limitations, and that is to be expected. No one channel, or any number of channels for that matter, can truly convey the higher states of reality. The only way to know these states is to experience them directly, personally, and with the full power of life flowing through you without any impedance whatsoever, or as much power as you can handle at the very least. Beyond time and space, I am. Beyond energy and matter, I am. Beyond infinity and eternity, I am. Each chakra within your body is potentially tuned to one of my principles. Each chakra within your body is a reflection of my creative expression. Each chakra within your body is a star. Together, your chakras form a miniature solar system of a kind. Each chakra is a miniature galaxy. Each chakra is a whirlpool of activity which sustains the illusion and the reality of my expression through you, through others. Be they big or small, infinitely large or infinitely minute. It is all relative, of course. Life twists in and out of itself, and therefore what is small from one angle can seem huge, and what appears to be enormous from another point of view can appear to be very, very small. A hint may be that no one appearance should fool you. Life is concealed from the eyes of those who do not know it well, simply because they confuse the orders of magnitude involved in my creation or manifestation and what lies beyond the creative arena. Whatever I am should not induce you to worship me, as if I was some sort of ego-pompous deity sitting on some celestial throne. That's fine for those who wish to be deluded by priests, by those who try and exploit sentiment, feeling, and emotions, who are perhaps and undoubtedly deluded themselves. I am very simple, really. I am both infinitely small and infinitely big, and neither. I am both female and male, yet truly androgynous. I am an essence which animates everything which moves and lives, including you. Imagine, though it is not imaginable by you, that you were permitted access to what the super universe is. Layers upon layers upon layers of strata or energy scapes, vast beyond all comprehension, vast beyond all description, vast in a way which even makes the word vast seem meaningless. All that is true, and yet I remain simple. My essential being has its roots in simplicity itself, quite regardless of how complex or how infinite my expression may be. This is as true of you as it is of me, because you are a part of me, even in a sense, as I am a part of you. To tag labels on me is a fruitless pastime. It can only lead to deception or illusion. To call me by this or that name is a fantasy which may on occasions appeal to you, yet it is equally meaningless. Here you see, you are reading words. How many of you understand what I am really saying? Only those of you who have seen me, a part of me, within yourselves. All religions are useless, and yet they can, in their own distorted manner, point out something, although more than likely they will point you in the wrong direction. Religions are not what you need. Vision is what you need. The ability to perceive what I am saying here, and what is there between the words, between the letters and the lines, leading to your own personal experience of what it is that I am. Your own personal revelation of what I am, and what you are also. Cast aside for a moment what you see of life around you. It may be beautiful. It may seem strenuous. It may seem like all sorts of things. But that is just the illusion perpetuated by your propensity to accept these appearances as real. Imagine that there was no space, no time, no energy, and no matter. What would there be? Nothingness. Nothingness. Even the word nothing means naught in this respect. I am nothing. I am everything and all, and so are you, by extension, after a fashion. Believing in life, in me, is not enough. Knowing it is an inexhaustible subject, a challenge to be sure. Nevertheless, it all depends on what you want to see, and hear, and feel, and sense. You create the universes around yourselves, even as I do. This is the point I would like to make. It is all projection. And this, regardless of how real or how illusionary it may seem to you or to any other being, regardless of how evolved or unevolved that being may be, which is always a relative consideration anyway. These projections are useful. They serve a purpose to evolve means and ways of living, of appreciating the possibilities inherent within each potential state to be explored, known, enjoyed, sensed, and then created, refreshed, changed, annulled, reborn anew in a different way, perhaps for a different purpose. Before we continue on with today's episode, for those of you interested in getting more fantastic fungi in your life, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about a friend of mine's brand new company, The Great Mother. Recently, I have been drinking The Great Mother's superfood mushroom coffee alternative called Ritual, as well as regularly taking their awesome Ally microdoses, and I am truly loving both.
As you probably know, these days, many of the world's highest achievers and performers swear by microdosing. The problem is it can still be difficult to get a hold of magic mushrooms. That's why when my friend reached out, who lives in an area and country where legalization is not a problem like it was in the past, and said he'd be willing to offer microdoses to my listeners, I wanted to pass the word along. Ally microdoses are 100% organic. And in addition to a small amount of the magic active ingredient, they also contain functional mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, and other brain boosters like bacopa. Ally is essentially a full spectrum nootropic. And of course, the coffee alternative Ritual doesn't contain magic mushrooms, but it has an array of the best organic functional mushrooms in the world. And, with functional mushrooms, it's really important to get them from the highest integrity sources. And whereas some other highly popular mushroom coffee alternatives on the market only contain a few varieties of functional mushrooms in their actual ingredients, Ritual has 7. Not only does it contain more types, it also contains 3 to 4 times the amount that the big brands have in each serving. And it tastes amazing. I actually like to have it on its own, as well as mixing it into my coffee sometimes as well. However, since this is definitely a unique offering, there are a few steps. First, just reach out and request to follow the private page, thegreat.mother on Instagram. Once you've been accepted to follow, just message what you're interested in getting and someone will get back to you.
If I were to tell you that there were universes millions, trillions, zillions of years ago, what would that mean to you? Where did it all begin? Was there a beginning? Is there an end? Will there be a time when all dissolves and re-becomes naught, nothing, meaningless, and insignificant? Again, it is all relative. There are beginnings and ends, yet they are always relative. There is no specific beginning, just as there will be no final end. For as long as any being wishes to project life, then there will be a manifestation of some kind or another, beyond time and space. However, there are those who rest, who wait, without waiting, until such a point when they feel like projecting again. Does that sound clear in any way to you? This is the true beauty of life. It can be projected and it can be arrested. These things are subject to cycles of time simply because that is the only way in which to maintain the coherency of a projection. Without including time, these projections would fall apart faster than they could be lived, or even created in the first instance. Time is the length of duration of a projection. Your true home is in no-thingness. That is the central home of all beings, including myself, the cosmic goddess, whatever it is that I am. Yet there is no need to panic. That nothingness is not threatening. You can dwell there until you wish to project universes once again and experience whatever it is that you want to experience or discover or experiment with or come to terms with. And why not? Who says that you do not have this right? Who will maintain that you are not fit to project a universe or universes? Who has any right to restrict any being from manifesting herself as she deems to be interesting or useful or pleasurable or even necessary? No one, no one, no one. To be a goddess, particularly a cosmic goddess, does engender certain obligations. Toward all the varied parts of one's self, one may have precipitated into the dance of one's own projection. I have obligations toward you in this respect. You in turn have certain obligations towards me because you are a part of me. Yet, there are others. There are other cosmic goddesses who, like me, are projecting themselves through the highways and byways of their own creations. Forget about space, which is illusionary. In any event, there is an infinity of space in which to project universes. Therefore, there's room for an infinity of universes, super universes, ultra universes, and so on. One can even project into someone else's universe just to see what is happening there, maybe. You who are reading this are already goddesses within yourselves. What you are doing now is little more than learning the ropes of how to project a universe by projecting yourself into the universe which surrounds you, which is my own, or to be more correct, a small part of my own. There is no time, really. Yet in another slice of time, you are already projecting whole universes, because in that slice of time, you have already achieved your potential for being a goddess, each one of you individually as well as collectively. In another slice of time, not that you need to be concerned by this, you're a tiny bit of almost nothing at the very beginning of its evolution. What applies to you applies to me. If now, in a different manner. Yet, from another point of view, I represent your future, or something akin to your future. There's only oneness, only one being, and yet an infinity of beings, and an infinity of infinities. Not that this makes much sense, except in a subjective way. I leave you with these thoughts, these perceptions, these truths, these little hints. That was cool. I like that one a lot. I like how what instantly came to mind is a song when he talked about, when the cosmic goddess talked about reading between the lines. It made me think of a song many years ago that my brother and Dalian, who edits the show and was the co-host early on, made together. Which actually makes me think of my brother starting to produce music again. And yesterday I was having lunch with him, and he's really been trying to figure out what he wants to refer to the project. And a name came to me that I think he's going to actually use, and it is Sojourn. Sojourn, which means like a temporary stay. And I think it's a really cool word. And, it's musical journey, right? So I'm really excited for the music that he's going to be producing, which is definitely in sort of the vein of some of my favorite music, a la, the artist Bonobo, who I don't really play on the show because I don't have a music license for, but that's probably my favorite. And it's definitely in that kind of vein and vibe. So, yeah. So here's a little flashback to Sojourn's last project, The Variance. The song is Between the Lines. So I feel like that's a good one to leave you guys with today. It talks, from what I remember of the lyrics that my brother wrote, it talks about, it definitely hints at some of the things being said here. So, yeah, I'm going to pull that one. I had another song queued up, but it seems appropriate to play The Variance Between the Lines. Hope you enjoy. Till next time, journey well. Love all you cosmic gods and goddesses so, so much.
Visibility is next to non-existent. Is in question. Humility is the keyword. I'm faced with these lessons. None of us are immune. And I've looked around for so long for answers that I could. So I read between the lines.